Welcome, everyone. And my name is Brian Hausch. I'm the Midwest Policy Manager for Rails to Trails Conservancy. And I am happy to be here with one of our co-chairs, Representative Carrie Hamilton from the Indiana Legislative Trails Caucus, which actually was established in March of 2020. And even through the pandemic, this is an organization that's grown and really already done a lot for the visionary trail system in Indiana. So Rep Hamilton, love to hear from you and kind of talk about this Year of the Trails thing.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. It's good to be here. So as you mentioned, I'm a state rep. I'm here on the north side of Indianapolis. I am the founder and one of the co-chairs of the bipartisan bicameral Indiana Legislative Trails Caucus. And we've had a really exciting year with new funding for trails in Indiana. But jumping back to last year, towards the end of last year, decided that 2021 needed to really highlight the importance of trails. There was a lot of momentum building around trails in Indiana. So but myself and my colleagues in the Senate, we offered trails resolutions. We asked Governor Holcomb to do the same. He was glad to do the same. So we had 3 resolutions in 2021 celebrating the Year of the Trails in Indiana. And so we're excited to talk with you today about some of the activities going on around trails and the Year of the Trails to really build support for the next legislative session in 2022.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you highlighted that because I think one of the things that's exciting about a caucus, and in this case, a Trails Caucus, is that these are groups of state legislators. It's bipartisan. So we've got a great representation of Republicans and Democrats. It's bicameral. So we have representatives and senators all working together to improve quality of life for all Hoosiers. And so I thought it might be nice for folks just to understand what the Year of the Trails resolution is about and why it's important for Indiana.
Well, it was really our chance as legislators to highlight the importance of trails to Indiana from an economic perspective, a public health perspective, especially as we were going through the pandemic last year into this year. That was a key part of why we were putting more energy into trails than ever before. And then quality of life for our communities. We know how important and vital trails are to our communities, and we need more of them in Indiana.
Yeah, that is so great. And I think that, we can't emphasize enough that it's important for you, the trail users, to really talk to your elected officials, both local and state, about why walking, biking, and all the other things that these linear parks bring to us are really important to you. And I think related to that, that ties into what we're going to be doing this weekend, October 22nd and 23rd. We are kicking off Year of the Trails with a weekend of events. And Carrie, maybe you can talk about the event that you're going to be at, and then I can mention a few other things that are happening.
Yeah, so in my district, House District 87 on the northeast side of Indianapolis, there's a corridor, an old rail corridor, and the community has really rallied around this corridor to turn it into a trail, to make it an official trail it's not paved at the moment. So it's not usable by many users. And so it's called the Nickel Plate Trail. It's paved in other sections in counties farther north. And we're hoping to connect those counties down to the state fair in Indianapolis. And what's really cool about this is that even though we don't have a trail yet, we've seen so much community engagement, both from all of the neighborhoods in and near the trail, but also from the business community, whether it's retail establishments or just businesses where they want their employees to be able to take a lunch break and go walk down the trail. And they see the value of this investment, again, from an economic, public health, and quality of life perspective, all of those perspectives. We will be inviting community members and local businesses to join us at Beer Brewery, which is near this corridor, very close, along 65th Street in Indianapolis, to join us in community, where we will have, it'll be a kid-friendly event with some, activities and an opportunity to hike on the trail for a short bit. We'll have some food and just real celebration with many of our community organizations, including BRAG, which is, for folks in the community know, Binford Redevelopment and Growth, which is a really wonderful organization working to spearhead efforts like the Nickel Plate Trail in our community.
Yeah, that event is going to be really fun. I know the emphasis is on getting on the trail. We've got great weather right now, so I think that's going to be great. Yes, I really wish I could be at all of the events next weekend, because it's really exciting what is going on in Indianapolis and with the Nickel Plate Trail, which is one of the iconic trails in the nation. But we have a few other events. We're actually kicking things off on Friday, October 22nd in North Judson. And there's going to be a ribbon cutting for an extension of the Great American Rail Trail. If you don't know about this yet, yeah, it's super exciting. This is the cross-country trail that's going to run right through Indiana. It's going to use existing trail and make connections. And so ultimately, not only will it connect up the entire state with different trail networks, but also connect Indiana to other states. It's going to be a huge draw for tourism and also a great benefit for residents. We also have an event that's happening on the Cardinal Greenway, and that's going to be in Muncie. And this is going to be a really fun event. I've heard that they're planning to ring a bell to kick off the Year of the Trails, which is going to be, entire year. So we'll be celebrating until next October, and that's going to be really neat. And a third signature event, or I guess a fourth signature event, is the event that we are having in Fort Wayne. And Fort Wayne is doing a tree planting along the trail. So there are going to be volunteers out. It's going to be super fun. Lots of family and friends getting together. And of course, one of the things that's great about associating trees with trails is that it brings down that temperature. It makes it such a nice experience. And this is just the beginning. So we expect events to be happening all year long. April 23rd, 6 months from our kickoff, is Celebrate Trails Day, which is going to be a big deal. And then in June, we've got National Trails Day. So there are going to be a lot of things to look out for that we're going to keep you updated on Facebook. There's an event right now on the Rails to Trails Conservancy page, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. So, Carrie, I wonder if there's anything else that you want to highlight about just sort of where you're at and why trails are so important to the Hoosier State.
Well, first, I want to say thanks to you, Brian, and the Rails to Trails Conservancy for all of your support of our work here in Indiana. It's really been crucial to us building momentum around trails and trail investments across the state. So thank you. I'll just add that there really is a lot of momentum. So early in 2021, in this new state biennium budget, we were able to secure $60 million for trails. It's a matching grant program through the Department of Natural Resources. We're super excited about it. This is the first time ever in state history that the legislature has funded trails on their own. So it's a big deal that we've come together as a legislative body and said this is a priority moving forward for the state of Indiana. So we need to keep building on that momentum, right? And this Year of the Trails is a key way to do that. So we'll start with these great events here on October 23rd, 2021, and hope to just really continue the momentum in communities all across the state to make sure that our local elected officials, our state elected officials, really understand how important trails are to communities, because there's still some more educating to be done, I'm sure, and community building that then helps bring dollars to those investments.
That is such a great thing to emphasize, Rep. Hamilton, because I think one of the things we have to remember as trail users and folks that enjoy these linear parks is that it's also up to us to interact with our elected officials, let them know how important these amenities are. And you've heard it. In 1 year, $60 million injected into developing the trail system in Indiana. And I know that the Trails Caucus is thinking about initiatives this year and beyond to continue that momentum. So it's just really exciting. So many great things going on in Indiana.
Yeah.
So
And we do know, Brian, that $60 million is just beginning to touch the surface of demand in our communities. That's why we have to keep working so hard.
yes, so true. So anything else you'd like to add, Carrie, before we wrap it up?
Now let's have a great day on October 23rd.
All right. Yes, I think we're looking forward to seeing you on the trails. And gosh, thank you so much for taking some time with us today, Representative Hamilton.
My pleasure. Thanks, Brian.
All right. Happy trails, guys. See ya.